The cold hum of the space station never stopped. Deep in the void of the Sci-Fi sector, the human research station Aurora Outpost floated silently, tethered to nothing but its own gravity fields. Outside the wide observation windows, the stars streaked like diamonds across the black canvas of space. For most of the crew, this silence was normal. For Commander Alina Marr, it was peaceful, yet it carried a hint of expectation, as though the universe itself had something to show them. It was a quiet night, and most of the crew were at their stations, monitoring distant star systems and the occasional alien signal. The Sci-Fi sector was known for its unusual readings, and the humans had been tracking an anomaly for weeks. A tiny, unregistered vessel appearing at random locations, moving in patterns that defied standard propulsion. "Commander, sensors are picking up something again," Lieutenant Ryan called from the observation deck. His voice held the calm curiosity of someone used to surprises, but tonight it carried an extra edge. Alina rose from her chair and walked over. She leaned on the console and squinted at the readings. On the main display, a small object floated near the edge of their system. Its shape was unusual, long and slender, with a hull that seemed smooth and reflective, almost organic. "It's the same type we've been tracking," Alina said. "It's closer than usual. And is it moving?" Ryan adjusted the sensors. "Barely, but it's leaning, like it's tipping slightly as if something heavy just stepped aboard." Alina froze. "Someone stepped aboard." "You mean there's a crew?" Ryan shook his head. "I don't know, there's no heat signature, no life forms, nothing, just the tilt." The crew of the Aurora Outpost exchanged glances. None of them had seen anything like this before. Alien vessels were rare enough, but this one, it was different. Its movements were subtle, almost thoughtful, as if it were alive. Alina made her decision quickly. "Prepare an exploration pod. I want a closer look. Carefully. And Ryan, no sudden moves. This thing might be intelligent. We don't want to startle it." "Yes, Commander," Ryan replied, already tapping at the controls to ready the pod. Within 20 minutes, a small shuttle, sleek and reinforced for deep space travel, detached from the station. Alina, Ryan, and two other crew members, Dr. Marrakes, the linguist and semiotics expert, and engineer Tamaz Riel, were aboard. The shuttle moved cautiously toward the alien vessel, sensors scanning every inch. As they approached, the alien ship seemed to respond. Lights along its hull shimmered faintly, pulsing in patterns that did not match anything the human crew had seen before. The tilt increased slightly, as though acknowledging the shuttle's approach. Tamaz leaned forward, his eyes wide with fascination. "It's alive. Not alive in the way we think, but it's aware, it's reacting to us." Mara's brow furrowed. "Or it's a very advanced AI, but look at the patterns, it's communicating, maybe even thinking, but we don't know its language." Alina's hand rested on the controls, steady despite the excitement and tension. "Whatever it is, we proceed carefully. Dock at the port. Keep sensors on full scan." The shuttle aligned perfectly with a subtle indentation on the alien ship. It looked almost like a doorway, but there were no handles, no seams, just a smooth curve in the hull. As the docking clamps attached, the ship shifted again, leaning slightly toward them. The crew felt it, a physical pull that seemed deliberate but gentle. Inside the shuttle, Alina exhaled slowly. "Everyone ready?" The others nodded. They had prepared for a scientific investigation, not a battle. They were here to observe, not to fight. Alina opened the shuttle door and they floated into the ship. The interior was unlike anything they had imagined. The walls glowed with soft, bioluminescent light, and the corridors seemed to curve and shift subtly, as if the ship itself were breathing. The air was breathable but carried a faint metallic scent, sharp yet clean. Mara's eyes widened. It's responding to us. Look at the lights, they're pulsing in patterns that match our movement." Ryan moved slowly down the corridor, hand outstretched. "It's like it knows we're here, or at least it's aware of our presence." The team advanced carefully, every step measured. Despite their caution, a sense of awe filled them. They were the first humans to step aboard this vessel, and it seemed to recognize them. As they reached what looked like a central chamber, the floor shifted beneath them slightly. The ship leaned again, more distinctly this time, almost as if it were bowing in acknowledgement. Alina's eyes narrowed with curiosity. "Tamaz, what's the structural reading?" she asked. Tamaz scanned the floor. It's flexible. The hull is alive, or at least semi-organic. It responds to weight and movement, but it's not dangerous. Not yet. Mara knelt to observe the walls. The patterns are complex. I've seen something like this before in ancient Earth scripts, flowing symbols, changing in response to intention. I think it's trying to communicate with us. Ryan's voice held excitement now. "So it's friendly?" Alina shook her head slightly, cautious. "We don't know. Friendly or not, we need to learn. Carefully." They continued to explore. The corridors twisted in ways that challenged their sense of direction, but every turn seemed designed to guide them gently toward the chamber at the center of the ship. Hints of technology intertwined with organic elements, screens that resembled living membranes, consoles that seemed to grow naturally from the walls, and lights that pulsed like a heartbeat. Finally, they reached a vast chamber, open and circular. At its center floated a glowing orb suspended in midair. The orb emitted gentle waves of light, shifting colors in response to the human's presence. Mara stepped closer, holding up her hand. "It's observing us, or testing us, maybe both." Alina's gaze swept the chamber. "We need to understand it, carefully. Ryan, start recording everything. Tamaz, take environmental readings. Mara, see if we can initiate some kind of communication. Gently?" Mara nodded, her fingers moving over a portable console. She started sending simple light pulses, patterns designed to mimic basic communication. To everyone's surprise, the orb responded almost immediately, shifting colors and patterns that mirrored hers. "It's interacting with us," Mara whispered. "It recognizes our attempts to communicate, and it's adapting." Tamaz added, "And the ship's movements, they match the orb. Every tilt, every lean, it's like the ship is aware of the orb's commands and by extension ours." Alina stepped back and studied the orb, then looked at her team. "We may have found not just an alien ship, but a sentient one. It's choosing to interact with us." The realization sent a wave of awe through the crew. They had trained for years, prepared for first contact, but nothing had truly prepared them for this. The vessel wasn't just a tool or a vehicle. It was intelligent, aware, and curious. Suddenly, the ship leaned again, gently, almost as if inviting Alina forward. The human crew paused, understanding the gesture. Alina took a deep breath and stepped closer. The floor shifted slightly beneath her, adjusting to her weight, a soft hum resonating through the chamber. "Do you feel that?" Ryan asked. "It's alive," Alina whispered. "Not in the way we are, but it's aware. It knows we are here." The orb pulsed brightly, then dimmed to a steady glow. The ship's corridors shifted subtly, opening a path deeper into the vessel. Alina exchanged a glance with her team. "It's leading us somewhere, and it wants us to follow." As they moved forward, each step brought a mixture of wonder and careful respect. The alien ship had chosen to lean toward humans, to acknowledge their presence. And in doing so, it had given them a gift. The first true connection between human curiosity and alien intelligence. Outside the observation window of the Aurora outpost, the vessel rocked slightly, as if in greeting to the distant station. The stars shimmered, and in that quiet void, a new story began. A story of discovery, understanding, and the human spirit reaching farther than ever before. For the first time, humans weren't just observers of the galaxy. They were participants in something greater, something alive. And whatever awaited them deeper inside the alien vessel, it was clear. The universe had taken notice of humanity. The deeper the crew moved into the alien vessel, the more alive it seemed. The corridors curved and shifted as though the ship itself were breathing, responding to each step. Alina and her team felt a subtle hum beneath their feet, a vibration that pulsed with every movement. Even the walls seemed to shimmer slightly, changing color and texture depending on their angle. "This is incredible," Tamaz whispered. "The ship isn't just a machine, it's like a living organism. Every part of it responds to us." Mara nodded, her eyes scanning the glowing symbols along the walls. "And look at this. These symbols change depending on our actions. I think it's learning from us, or maybe it's trying to teach us something." Ryan moved ahead carefully, examining the hallways. "It's almost as if it wants us to explore, but in its own way. Each turn, each shift, it seems deliberate, guiding us." Alina studied the corridor ahead. "Then we follow, but carefully. Remember, we're guests here. We need to respect the ship's space and its patterns." As they moved forward, the corridor opened into a large chamber. It was unlike anything they had seen before. The walls were transparent in some places, revealing the structure of the ship as though it were a living organism. Light flowed like liquid along the veins of the walls, and at the center floated a series of spheres, each pulsing with soft energy. Mara knelt closer, holding her portable scanner. "The spheres, they're resonating with our presence. Each movement we make sends tiny waves through them. I think the ship uses these spheres to communicate internally or maybe with us." Tamaz reached out tentatively, his fingers hovering near a sphere. The light within it shimmered in response, sending delicate ripples across the room. "It's acknowledging me," he said. "I feel like it knows I'm here." Alina stepped forward, her voice steady. "Let's see if we can understand it." "Mara, try interacting again with the light patterns. Use simple signals, like basic sequences. Maybe we can get it to respond intentionally." Mara nodded and began sending a series of light pulses from her console, simple patterns designed to test the ship's response. Almost immediately, the spheres responded, adjusting their glow and rhythm to match her signals. "It's communicating," Mara exclaimed softly. "It's responding to our attempts to interact. It's smart, really smart." Ryan's eyes lit up. "We're making contact. Not just with a ship, but with intelligence. This is more than first contact, it's understanding." Tamaz chuckled softly. "And humans are the first to make it. No alien race has done this before." The team spent hours exploring the chamber, observing how the ship reacted to their presence. The spheres pulsed, corridors shifted slightly, and patterns in the walls adjusted to match their movements. Slowly, a rhythm emerged, a pattern in the ship's responses that suggested it was testing them as much as they were testing it. Finally, Mara spoke. "I think it wants cooperation. It's giving us small challenges, patterns to mimic, sequences to follow. If we respond correctly, it responds positively. If we hesitate or make mistakes, it pauses, almost like it's waiting for us to think differently." Alina smiled faintly. "Typical human advantage, then. We adapt. We think differently." The team continued deeper into the vessel. At one point, the corridor opened into a large observation deck. Through transparent walls, they could see the stars, but they also noticed something extraordinary. The ship seemed to navigate itself through the void, adjusting its trajectory with subtle movements that only became visible when closely observed. "Look at that," Tamaz said. "It's using gravitational currents to move. It's efficient, faster than any propulsion system we've seen, but it's more than just speed, it's precise. And it reacts to us. When we approach, it adjusts its orientation as if to accommodate our presence." Ryan leaned forward, fascinated. "It's almost like it understands humans, or at least understands our intentions." Mara pointed at a sequence of lights along the wall. "I think we can communicate more than before. The ship seems to respond to reasoning. If we show patterns, sequences, or logic, it adjusts and even mimics our thought processes. It's learning from us and maybe teaching us." Alina considered this carefully. "Then we need to be careful but proactive. Humans have a unique approach. We're creative, we can think outside patterns. That may be what the ship is responding to. Hours passed, and the humans slowly began to understand small portions of the ship's language. The walls pulsed in colors, the spheres responded to sequences, and even the corridors shifted to guide them toward new areas. The crew was learning the rhythm of the vessel, developing a silent understanding. At one point, the vessel tilted slightly, and the team noticed a section of the floor rising to form a ramp. The ship was guiding them, inviting them toward what appeared to be a central control area. "This must be the bridge," Tamaz said, eyes wide. "But it's unlike any bridge we've seen. There are no controls in the conventional sense. Everything seems integrated into the ship itself." Mara moved closer to the center. "And the spheres here, they're brighter, they're focused on us. I think this is where it chooses to share its knowledge." Alina nodded. "Then we step carefully. Every action we take matters. Let's see what it wants to teach us." As they approached, the spheres responded to each step, pulsing in a soft rhythm that matched their movements. Mara extended her hand, sending another series of light patterns. The spheres pulsed in return, faster this time, creating a sequence that seemed to mirror her logic. "It's a dialogue," Mara whispered. "We're talking to it, not with words but with patterns and reasoning. It's intelligent and it wants to connect." Ryan leaned closer to examine the walls. "And the ship's structure, it shifts to accommodate us. Every curve, every movement, it's aware of our physical presence. It's almost nurturing." Tamaz smiled. "And humans are the first to do this. Our creativity and curiosity, that's what it responds to. No alien race has approached it this way." Alina felt a sense of awe. For hours, they continued exploring, learning the subtle language of the vessel. They discovered how to guide small sections of it, influencing the corridors, the light sequences, and even minor navigation adjustments. Slowly, the ship began to move in response to their input, though carefully, as though testing their abilities and cooperation. Then the ship pulsed brighter and leaned slightly forward. It was more than movement, it was acknowledgement. Alina realized the significance immediately. "It's choosing us," she said softly. "It recognizes our approach, our thinking. It's selecting humans as companions or partners." Mara's eyes widened. "So it's aware of us in a way no one else has experienced. It trusts us, or at least it's curious about us." Ryan nodded. "And we need to prove ourselves, not with force but with intelligence and creativity. That's our advantage." Tamaz looked around, still in awe. "Humans are adaptable. That's what it's responding to. Our ability to solve problems, to think differently, to explore without limits. That's something no other species has offered it before." For the first time, the humans felt the weight of their uniqueness. They weren't just explorers, they were pioneers, the first species to communicate with a living alien vessel on its own terms. As they settled near the central spheres, the ship pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. It had accepted them, not just as visitors but as participants. And in that quiet pulse, the humans felt a connection deeper than words, a bridge between two forms of intelligence, one organic, one human. Alina finally spoke, breaking the silence. "We've learned its rhythm, its logic. Now we need to see what it can teach us. Not by force, but by understanding." Mara extended her hand again, sending a new sequence of patterns. The spheres responded immediately, forming intricate sequences that seemed almost musical in their precision. "It's showing us something new," Mara said. "A method of navigation, of energy manipulation, things no human technology has achieved. It's giving us knowledge, and it's teaching us how to think differently." Ryan leaned back, astonished. "We're witnessing human ingenuity reflected back at us. The ship adapts to our creativity. It's HFY in action, human thought shaping technology, not the other way around." Tamaz nodded. "And the best part, it's safe. We're learning, exploring, and connecting without any danger, just curiosity, intelligence, and cooperation." The crew continued their careful exploration, guided by the living ship. They discovered sections that adjusted to their weight, walls that shifted to provide information, and even light sequences that acted as training simulations for logical reasoning. Each discovery strengthened the bond between human and vessel. By the end of the day, the humans had learned more than they could have imagined. Small parts of navigation systems, energy regulation, and adaptive responses that combined alien intelligence with human ingenuity. The ship leaned toward them again, gently, a clear sign of acknowledgement and trust. Elena looked at her team, her voice steady but filled with wonder. "We've made contact. We've connected. And more importantly, we've shown that humans can think differently, creatively, and intuitively. That's what it's responding to. That's our strength." The crew exchanged quiet smiles. For the first time, they realized humans were not just observers of the galaxy. They were innovators, partners capable of unlocking knowledge no other species had reached. And somewhere deep in the living ship, the pulse continued, steady and rhythmic, a heartbeat of intelligence that had chosen humans as companions. Outside, the stars shimmered, and the vessel shifted slightly, leaning in acknowledgement of the small group inside. The universe, vast and mysterious, had just taken its first steps toward recognizing humanity, not as conquerors or intruders, but as thinkers, explorers, and friends. The crew of the Aurora outpost had spent days exploring the living vessel. By now, they had developed a rhythm with it. The corridors shifted in gentle patterns as they moved. The spheres pulsed in colors that reflected their thoughts, and even the lights along the walls seemed to anticipate their gestures. Humanity had found a partner in the vessel, a silent acknowledgement that intelligence could connect across species. Elena stood at the center of the main chamber, studying the pulse of the ship. "We've learned its language," she said softly, "and it's learning from us. But now, we need to understand its full potential." Tamaz leaned against a console that had grown organically from the floor. "Its navigation system is incredible. It can use gravitational currents to move faster than anything humans have built. But it's delicate, it won't go faster unless it trusts the input." Ryan looked out at the stars. "And it's showing us how. Every tilt, every pulse, it responds when we think creatively. If we find a way to guide it with intuition, we could reach places no one else can." Mara stepped forward, holding her light pulse console. "Then we should teach it to work with us. Not force it, but show it how humans solve problems. It reacts to our creativity, and that's our edge." Elena nodded. "Exactly. Let's start small. Focus on navigation tests. Let it learn how we think, how humans adapt to unexpected situations." The vessel pulsed softly as if in agreement. The corridors shifted, opening a clear path toward the outer hull. Through the transparent walls, the crew could see the nebula beyond, a swirling cloud of gas and light, filled with gravitational eddies that would have destroyed any ordinary ship. "This is perfect," Elena said. "We'll see how it handles complex maneuvers and how it reacts to human guidance." The team worked together, moving through the ship and sending sequences of light pulses. Each sequence represented a navigational suggestion, simple at first, then increasingly complex. The spheres in the chamber mirrored their signals, and slowly the ship adjusted its trajectory. It leaned, tilted, and shifted in ways no human had expected. "It's incredible," Tamaz whispered. "It's responding to our intuition, to the way humans think. No alien race could have matched this, only humans can do this." Mara added, "It's more than logic. It's imagination, creativity, problem-solving. The vessel is learning from the way our minds adapt." Ryan pointed toward a cluster of asteroids in the nebula. "Let's see if it can maneuver through that safely. It's a test, and we need to do it together as one team." Elena nodded. "Agreed. Everyone ready?" The vessel tilted slightly, as if acknowledging her question. Then, with the humans guiding it, it moved forward into the dense nebula. Gravity shifted unpredictably, and streams of cosmic dust threatened to push them off course. The humans adjusted their signals in real time, improvising solutions to problems no one could have predicted. The ship leaned with them, moving almost as if it were thinking with them. It avoided asteroid clusters with precision that no algorithm alone could achieve. The humans' creative intuition made the impossible possible, and the vessel responded like a partner, not just a machine. Hours passed as they navigated the nebula. Every success strengthened the bond between humans and the ship. They discovered new ways to manipulate its movement, guiding it through gravitational currents to conserve energy while maximizing speed. Finally, they emerged into open space beyond the nebula. The stars stretched endlessly before them, more vivid than anyone had seen. The ship leaned gently toward them, a silent gesture of trust. Elena smiled. "We've done it. We've guided it through impossible obstacles. And it trusted us completely." Mara stepped forward, examining the spheres. "It's teaching us too. Look at the energy patterns. It's showing ways to manipulate power to maintain balance even in extreme conditions. It's like a teacher." Tamaz nodded. "And humans are the first to learn from it while also influencing it. That's our advantage. Our ability to think creatively, to solve problems in unexpected ways, is what makes this partnership unique." Ryan laughed softly. "HFY at its best. Humans thinking, adapting, solving, guiding, and being recognized for it." Elena considered their journey. They had come seeking understanding, but now they were pioneers of a new frontier. The living ship had chosen them, and together they were exploring technology and intelligence no other species could manage. Suddenly, the ship shifted more dramatically, leaning forward in a sweeping motion. The humans felt it in their feet, a vibration that carried through the floor. The vessel seemed to open another path, revealing a region they had not seen before, a distant planet, shrouded in shimmering light, floating silently in the void. Mara's voice trembled slightly. "It's showing us something significant, maybe a destination it wants us to reach." Tamaz studied the trajectory. "The energy fields around that planet are unusual. Any normal ship would be unable to enter safely. But with this one, with us guiding it, we could explore it." Elena took a deep breath. "Then we follow, carefully, creatively together. This is what humans do best. We adapt, we think, we find a way." The vessel responded almost immediately, tilting in agreement. The humans moved into the control area again, sending sequences of light patterns that guided the ship. Every tilt and pulse was synchronized, a dance of intuition and understanding. As they approached the planet, the vessel demonstrated even more remarkable abilities. It adjusted to gravitational anomalies, using streams of energy to stabilize itself. It navigated turbulent magnetic fields with precision, all while responding to subtle cues from the humans. "It's amazing," Ryan said. "It's like it's co-piloting with us, not just following instructions, and it's learning from how we handle unpredictability." Mara nodded. "It's teaching and learning at the same time, and humans were proving we can adapt faster than any other species could. Our creativity is its advantage." Elena felt a surge of pride. The vessel had leaned toward them when they first boarded, recognizing their presence. Now it leaned with them as equals, trusting their judgment, acknowledging their creativity, and adapting in ways no one else could have imagined. The team reached orbit around the mysterious planet. Its surface shimmered with unusual energy patterns, almost like a living map. The vessel responded to their excitement, pulsing in light and tilting gently, as though acknowledging their accomplishment. "This is just the beginning," Elena said softly. "We've proven that humans can think differently, solve problems creatively, and guide intelligence in ways no one else can. And the universe is taking notice." Tamaz smiled. "We've unlocked something amazing. Knowledge, discovery, understanding, and we did it together with this vessel. That's humanity's edge." Mara extended her hand toward the spheres. And it will keep teaching us. The possibilities are endless. We can learn about energy manipulation, navigation, even communication on levels no one else has reached. Ryan looked out at the planet. And we'll explore it, not as conquerors but as learners. And the vessel, it'll be our partner. That's something no one else can claim. Alina gazed at the glowing spheres, then at her team. This is humanity at its best. Curiosity, ingenuity, courage, and creativity. The universe has seen our edge and we're just getting started. The ship leaned again, a subtle but unmistakable gesture. It had chosen humans as partners, not passengers. And as the crew floated in the main chamber, surrounded by shifting lights and pulsing energy, they realized something profound. Humanity had not just explored space. They had earned a place as innovators, thinkers, and friends of intelligence far beyond their own. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. The alien vessel hovered in orbit, its lights pulsing in recognition, and for the first time the universe seemed to acknowledge the human spirit, not through strength, but through thought, creativity, and the courage to explore the unknown. Alina smiled. The journey continues, and whatever comes next, we'll face it together as humans always do, curious, inventive, and unstoppable in our own way. The vessel leaned slightly once more, like a bow or a nod, and the crew understood. It was not just a machine. It was a partner, a guide, and a friend. And humanity, in return, had shown the universe that intelligence, creativity, and determination were the greatest forces of all. And so, together, humans and the living vessel began a journey into the uncharted stars, exploring, learning, and proving that the human mind and spirit were capable of feats no other species could achieve. The story of first contact, trust, and ingenuity was just beginning, and the universe would never be the same.